back to the fence, and that's gone.
There it is. Ace to win the set. It's caught. 20-10. Touchdown.
This is going to be in the gap.
Yes! Scores on a deflection. The Andover Huskies win their first state championship.
Welcome to the Anoka High School Fieldhouse. Here tonight, it's Thursday night. Northwest Suburban Conference, Anoka Hennepin District High School Volleyball. The Anoka Tornadoes coming in, riding an 11-1 record, taking on the Blaine Bengals, who are 2-10. It is the dynamic duo back together again, along with Tim Anderson. I'm Jim Erickson. We were just here on Monday, Tim.
We have just been camping out here the whole time, too. We haven't left.
Anoka will serve. We're just about to get this match underway. Set number one, and serving is Carmen Shimmick. Dark uniforms tonight here for Anoka, wearing the blacks. Shimmick to the net, up and over. Logan Brent's on the Blaine side. They're in the whites here tonight. They go cross court, dugout back row. Reeder set by Shimmick here to the near side. Shot over Leaf. Back to the Bengals. Opening rally and volley of the match. Here's Tanner. Back pass to Brent, drives it to the back row, dug out by the Bengals, up ahead to Hansen at the line, puts it up and over on a free ball, and then a big swing, but Abby Leaf sends that one long. A rather long volley to start out, 1-0 Bengals, side out.
Nice job by the Bengals to get started here right away, matching the intensity for Anoka. Anoka was trying to get that quick point early, but digging out a couple of big stops there and keeping things going, but a quick unforced error right back into the net from Kenzie Aber.
That serve in the net. That'll side it out here, and Logan Brent will drop back. Tornadoes on Monday, match that we had right here on QCTV, a 3-0 win over Andover. Aber with a set, block at the net. Reeder was there along with Abby Leaf, and that is sometimes, and most of the time, an impenetrable wall.
That's a very tough spot to be in for Blaine because they don't know if they've got a ton of size up front to match up. They've got a few players on the inside there like Hansen, but that time Leaf and Hayden Reeder too much.
2-1 Anoka. Brent again with the serve, and this one was at the net, up high. Blaine thought they got a tip on it, and it was not tipped by Anoka. Out of bounds, cross court, 3-1 Tornadoes.
Good start for the Tornadoes, getting the quick points.
High arcing serve there this time by Brent. Dugout Leaf. Shimmick over to Reeder. Drives it over. Hansen pushed over on two. Tried to hit that back line was Kenzie Aber, but she missed it long by a couple of feet. 4-1 Tornadoes.
Logan Brent, a good start. One thing that they have is They tend to struggle a little bit early in set one, so the Tornadoes want to play crisply, get out quickly, get a big lead.
Aber, attack line drive by Hansen on the right side, off of the Tornadoes, and point here to Blaine. And Tim, this Blaine team is in program. They've been very good. You go back to the days of Celeste Gorman. They were making state tournament appearances. Them and Centennial battled in old Section 5, and Blaine's won 7 of the last 10 meetings with Anoka. So Blaine's always been a program that has been in Anoka's thorn. It's kind of a thorn in their side as Abby Leaf hits this one into the net, and it's 4-3.
Yeah, it's kind of a revenge tour this week for the Anoka Tornadoes. They're 11-1, but having beaten Andover at the beginning of the week, getting a win here against Blaine would be a big thing as well.
Tornadoes' first win over Andover since 2018. Reeder saves it to the middle, pushed over Ella Leaf. Dug out by Yang, the libero to the net, and the block goes out of bounds. This time the Abby Leaf and Ella Leaf block ends up going out of bounds down the near sideline. We're tied at 4.
Nice little surge here to start for this Blaine Bengals team to tie it at 4.
Net serve and down. Nothing that you could do about that. Ella Leaf was just helpless there, and it's 5-4. Blaine with their first lead.
Claire Forrest able to get the big bounce there on serve, and she'll stay on serve for the Bengals.
Jump serve. This one did not roll over the cord and the cable. So that'll end up going back here to the Anoka Tornadoes. And serving will be their libero, Allie Tanner.
Now Madison Hunter comes in on the rotation as well. Tanner serving from that libero spot.
Drives one just over the net to the right side and not over by the Bengals.
It's
the
not
pass was off a little bit. The set was off as well, and there was nothing really that Jakubiak could do.
And it's a nice little change of pace because they don't jump serve a ton, do the Tornadoes. So when they do decide to have somebody who will jump serve, you see kind of a different spin and a different look.
Tanner goes deep, and a good call by the Bengals. You heard one of their players. Communication on the court is huge. They said out. They let it go. The Olay. And it is out beyond the end line, tied at 6.
Yeah, good recognition from Jordan Alstrip that time, playing on the back line. Now a jump serve answer from the Bengals, coming right at Hayden Reeder.
McCarthy, Reeder, Shimmick. Guess who she goes right back to is Hayden Reeder. And that one is down with authority. 7-6 Tornadoes, they get the serve.
Yeah, and again, some teams kind of want to serve at Hayden Reeder when she's on the back line, and I think they do that at their own peril because I think Reeder's a really good digger of the ball. She can get things started from that back line and recover because she doesn't allow herself to get out of position.
Maddie Gibson the serve. Here's the quick set in the middle, and Breitbart at the middle at 6 foot has good size there, but was a little bit contorted and twisted and could not get that one over the net. 8-6.
Maddie Gibson, a player I want to keep an eye on in this game today.
Setting it as Aber. Goes back set right side, tipped over, and that was nicely done on the tip up and over by Jakubiak. Right side, 8-7, and the side out goes the Bengals.
And the only reason I say that is because I felt like Andover picked on Maddie Gibson a lot in that game. They served at her pretty much every opportunity they had. The key will be how she handles that, and here they come right at her here in this set.
Lefty serve by Jakubiak, and in the middle was Madison Hunter. She pounds that one down.
Hunter from that middle position, that's where she's strongest. It's not like she jumps out of the gym, but she does attack it with great force, and everything comes in a downward motion from her.
Reeder the serve, back set Aber, and that's down here by the Bengals.
Nice little placement over that time, deciding they're not going to try to get into an arms race at the net. Just place it over, hit it where they ain't. That time they caught Reeder a little out of position and able to get the kill.
Hansen comes back in. Blaine's always had good athletic volleyball players. Jump serve up and over. Tornado scrambling. Oh, they keep it alive, and it's pushed over Hunter, and she goes to the back row. That was placed very nicely by Madison Hunter. Split second to make that decision, Tim, where to put it, and she put it where they ain't, as Wee Willie Keeler used to say for baseball. Huh?
They had to scramble for that, too. Brent did a nice job of keeping that alive as they came right at Gibson with a tough set. She was able to get it to Brent, and Brent found a way to just get enough to Madison Hunter to put it away.
Here's the set for Hansen, blocked right back to the Bengals. Aber, this time back set, Breitbarth dug out by Reeder, set up for Brent, and she goes down the line, and it misses.
Brent is somebody who, when she gets going, can just knock him in bunches. That time she's a little long and a little wide.
Libero serving is Yang. Top of the net. Anoka ready for it this time. Here it's tipped up and over by Brent. Back row attack with the left hand top spin. It was tumbling a little bit, but not enough on that hit by Jakubiak, and it goes long. 11-9 Anoka, and they serve with Carmen Shimmick dropping back.
Yeah, that one, everybody was kind of diving all over the floor were the Bengals. Jakubiak had no choice but just to hit it over. And when she did that, it was just long.
Shimmick to the back row, the overhand pass. Set up near side, Hansen powers it through the Anoka block.
Hansen is somebody who's got the size to match up front with the Tornadoes. That time deciding to go right at, I think it was Abby Leaf, and is able to put it away.
And serving, Aber. Turner, Shimmick, back set, Brent blocked and out. That was a bang block. Hansen got her arms up there, but could not direct it into the court inside the lines.
Yep, brings it to 12-10. Logan Brent got what she needed on that one, and now she's on serve.
Right in the middle of the libero, Yang. Aber sets it, comes over here near side. That's the lefty. That's Jakubiak. Then it comes to Reeder. And that was right in her wheelhouse, 13-10.
That is the candy-coated set right there for Hayden Reeder, where if it gets put to her right there, she's going to put it away probably 99 times out of 100. Perfect job from Hayden Reeder.
Serving again, Brent. Aber, back set, tipped over Hansen, directs it over to Leaf. Here comes Reeder on that left side, off the top of the net, off of the block, and down. Boy, and Reeder's on that left side. Just keep feeding her, huh?
Yeah, 100%. And she is poetry in motion when she gets rolling up in the air. The technique is so sound, and her timing is always perfect on the jump.
Aber, quick little set. The timing was off on that. Megan McCarthy was in the middle, was not expecting the short set. 15-10, Anoka their largest lead. We're in the first set, just underway. Yang into the net, dug out and down here for the Bengals.
Might need to see a timeout here from Coach Natalie Thines as she's going to get up and think about it, and yep, she does.
And she will. Natalie Thines in her 4th season as the head coach here at the Blaine Bengals, was the Section 7 Coach of the Year in 2021 when they went to 27-5. They were section runners up to Forest Lake that year.
Big key here is early on you've seen a lot of unforced errors from the Bengals. Not as many from the Tornadoes. And the Tornadoes, that usually is their one Achilles heel, if there is one, right, is they tend to get off to slow starts. They tend to make, a number of unforced errors early on. That's not happening in this first set. They're coming out, they're playing pretty clean. They're passing, they're serving well, not making a ton of unforced errors. This has been a very good start for the Anoka Tornadoes. Bengals have got to match a little bit at the net. And I think, just like we talk about feeding Hayden Reeder, Jim, I think on the other side you got to feed Gemma Hansen. She seems to be getting what she wants at the net fairly consistently. I would try to set for her as much as I can.
JV match before this one, it was 2-1 Blaine. Blaine won the third and deciding set 15-12. Here at 16-10 in favor of the Anoka Tornadoes. In the middle, it's Megan McCarthy who gets one there and bangs it home.
Yeah, 5'9" freshman showing you some of the talent and some of the potential right there. Sends that one home with some authority.
She really got up.
Yeah, no kidding. Gets the Bengals right back on serve. And that's a huge kill for the Bengals. Come right out of the timeout, get the kill. Now let's see if they can get a sustained service run.
And serving is
that's good.
Jakubiak, and that is in. That's 19, not 18. That's Claire Forrest who served and gets an ace.
Yeah, those numbers are a little hard to read back there. We got to work on that. Got to talk to the Blaine folks. Yeah, that'll be Claire Forrest.
Here comes Forrest. To the back row, Brent, Shimmick, Reeder. Rolls it over. Wonderful dig by Yang, the libero. And she'll get it back at the attack line over free ball. Brent, Shimmick. Back set this time for Ella Leaf. Back row dig. Steered towards the net by Aber, then over free ball. Turner and Shimmick, and then here comes Reeder. Back row, ready for it. Back to Aber, who sets it up near side. Tipped over through the block, kept alive. Hammered by Leaf and down. Boy, great job and great rally and volley that time by Blaine. They answered everything that Anoka had for them.
Yeah, great energy. Just fired up the entire Bengals team as that was a big one. And now the theme here is going to be run, Forrest, run.
As it is, Claire Forrest. I think she had Bubba Gump shrimp for pregame meal, don't you think? Left side swing. Sounds delicious.
Expensive. Anyway.
Kubiak knocked that one over. Then it's tipped over. Floating was Leaf. Bengals set up on the near side. Keller dug out high amongst the rafters. Reeder on the left side. Another block by the Bengals.
Well, they're timing Reeder up now. She might want to think about a change of pace.
And now she drives it over. Bengals ready for it. Set up near side. Chloe Keller. Then it's back here to Turner to the back row, but it's long. And the Bengals have it to within 2.
I think we've seen now 2-3 in a row that they've been able to block on Hayden Reeder. And Reeder's got great timing, but also that timing is being timed up nicely on the other side by the Bengals. They're starting to anticipate where it's going. This is where you need to vary it up. As much as you want to go to Hayden Reeder all the time, you can't. You got to get other people involved. You got to reverse direction, change the eye levels, do some soft pacing every now and again. Something like that to set it up.
Bengals did a nice job adjusting to Reeder when she was on a roll. Now let's see what the Tornadoes can do. You get that chess match going on here between the two teams and the two benches and coaches.
Yeah, Coach Fenwick having to get a timeout here in the first set, something we really didn't see him do at all in the Andover game. He didn't feel like he had to get up off the bench, which is kind of good. He might need to get up and move every now and again. It's good for you. Keeps the
circulation going, the blood flowing.
Yeah, got to
exactly.
get some steps in too occasionally.
Steps in on the old Fitbit. Tornadoes are up 15-10, so Blaine's gone 4-1 here in the last 5 points.
I would look to set for Abby Leaf. I don't think we've done enough of that early on if you're the Tornadoes. You've been trying to set for Reeder on the outside, so why not play the middle and try to set Abby Leaf a little more?
And Claire Forrest here for Blaine has been serving well. Here is the setup for Leaf. She had to take that from the attack line, couldn't attack the net, tipped over by the Bengals. Shimmick will push it over on the second hit. Saved towards the net by Jakubiak, then it's back over, dug out, nice play there. Leaf, and then Turner over free ball. Bengals to set up. Far side reaching over the net, it looked like was Reeder to reject that. It came back to the Tornadoes. Shimmick then comes in the middle, and it's Abby Leaf this time with a middle attack and a kill.
That's just what I was talking about. Let's just change things up. A little change of pace for the Anoka Tornadoes. You set for Leaf in the middle, and that opens up a new alley for the Tornadoes, and they're able to get the kill.
Sides it out to Allie Turner. Tanner, excuse me.
Yeah, she'll get really mad at you if you get that wrong.
I know. Apologize to her in class. Turner after it. They're going to whistle this down. The Tornadoes were scrambling and crossed the midline. And our down official right in front of the scorer's table whistled it down. He was looking right there. Coach Chris Fenwick getting the ruling now, and that gives the Bengals a point and a side out here down by 2.
Boy, to get him out of the chair twice in the first set. My goodness.
Megan McCarthy serving for the Bengals. To the net, Reeder, Shimmick. Leaf up and over. That's Ella. Right back to the net. Bengals scrambling, and they're in the net. And that'll get the point to the Tornadoes.
It's the most assertive I've seen Ella Leaf so far in this first set. Want to see more of that from her, where she's attacking at the net and not just jumping from the attack line, right? I want to see her getting up and playing over the top whenever possible.
Well, that might have been the discussion in the timeout, saying we can't rely on Hayden Reeder all the time because Blaine right now has adjusted and shifted their block to there. We need other players in the front row to contribute, attack, and show some power as the Bengals find an opening and drop it down, get the serve back down by 2 now.
Might have been Jordan Alstrop there, right there at the front of the net to knock that over the top. Get the kill, 18-16. Good fight from the Bengals here in set 1.
Here's Hannah Jakubiak. She's the left-hander. Here comes Reeder. Off the block, but dug out by Yang, the libero. Back near side, up high and through the block and down. Power showed by Jordan Alstrop and gets a kill for Blaine. It's a 1-point set.
Boy, Mina Chow Yang, the libero for the Bengals, has been terrific defensively. Exactly what the libero is supposed to do. Be the backline defender. She's digging, she's setting, she's doing all the things that are needed to be done for the Bengals.
Jakubiak, the serve. Shimmick, Reeder, low in the net. And that's what happens, too, in your top hitter, right, Tim, is when you're kind of struggling with the block, then you try to be too perfect at the net, and that causes errors.
And then right there, Hayden Reeder might need to think about something else. She was trying to make something out of nothing there by jumping at it. Didn't think she had to do that.
Tied at 18. That lefty serve again from Jakubiak. That means the spin is different. And battled for. The Tornadoes play it outside the antenna, and Blaine has come all the way back here, and they lead at 19-18.
Yeah, and Anoka looks rattled right now. Need to set. I would set away from Reeder just this time and see if you can set Brent. I know Brent's playing on the back line, but see if you can make something happen with her or make something with Madison Hunter.
Shimmick, they go to Reeder, and she delivers. Tied at 19.
That time Reeder changes up her attack angle, decides not to go straight down the line, but instead plays it to the other side from that position. Able to get the side out in a big one. Now she's on serve.
Reeder. That one knuckles its way to the back row. Aber, back row drive, and Jakubiak missed that one. And it's 2019. Tornadoes have reclaimed the lead.
That set looked funky coming out of the hands there. It went backwards at Jakubiak and forced her to have to play over from deep in her own area and wasn't going to get that one over in play consistently.
Reeder got the favorable roll off of the net cable. Here's Brent, blocked back at the Tornadoes. Nice save by Gibson, and then rolled over by Brent. Aber, back set. That one's off the mark, but pushed over free ball. Tornadoes to set up Shimmick, jump set. Tipped over Hunter with some power on it. Tried to beat him to the back row, and instead they set up near side and the kill for the Bengals. And it's down, Jordan Alstrop.
Interesting to see 2020. Great job by Blaine, what they're going to do here. I actually like when Reeder's on the back line in these kind of moments. It seems like when things are struggling, you can kind of take her out of the play a little bit, force her to play defense on the back, but I actually think she does well in these spots, setting up for teammates. You bring Ivy Manning in now to go with Brent up front. Look for them to set Brent a ton here.
Bengals, the right to left serve. Back row has played a little bit by Gibson, Reeder, and then free ball from the attack line would have gone over, but it's short off that cable, and the Bengals have a 1-point lead again, 21-20.
Let's see if they come right back at Gibson. Timeout, Coach Fenwick. So now I would say this, if you're Anoka, you have to assume they're going to come at, I don't think they're going to serve at Reeder. I think they're going to serve at Gibson again. So if you're Madeline Gibson, you got to anticipate. You got to be in a ready position and not be fooled by anything that's coming at you so that you can get a good dig, get something going so that you can get the proper set for Brent on the outside. Once again, you still have options in the middle. If you want to serve for or set up for Ivy Manning in front of them and get something at the middle of the net, I'm all for that too. I think that's a good solution. If you're Blaine, I like what you're doing. You're competing for everything, and you're well spaced out defensively. You're not fooled by what Anoka's doing.
Well, Chris Fenwick mentioned, I talked to him before the match, and you look at the records, and you think this would be a lopsided matchup. 11-1 Anoka, 2-10 Blaine. But he said that Blaine is a much better team than 2-10, much better team than their record. They've had a lot of close matches, and we're certainly seeing the example of that here in the first set. Bengals with the jump serve. Gibson, Shimmick for Brent. Dug out nicely by Yang. Set up Hansen outside the attack line. Onto the Tornadoes side. It went over on one. Bengals to set up. Aber. They fake the back set, and they give it to Hansen, who powers it down. 22-20 Bengals.
Yeah, Gibson got the dig there, but the problem is that I think it was meant to be more of a set, and they didn't set anybody up. Instead, it went over the top. And they're going to make a move.
Piper Vaughn will come in. Gibson will sit down for the Tornadoes.
So we'll see if they serve right at Piper Vaughn or if they go at Allie Tanner.
Slaps it long. So service there. Bengals give it up. That's a huge break here for the Tornadoes. They're within one, and they get the serve, and it'll be Ivy Manning going back to serve.
All right, you got Abby Leaf and Brent up front with Carmen Shimmick.
This time, Manning serve, a collision. They kept it alive. Aber sets up right side. Breitbarth able to put it down. Manning could not keep it alive. 23-21. Bengals get the point and the serve right back.
Yeah, it looked like it was Jakubiak and Yang colliding. Maybe a little miscommunication, but it worked out for the Bengals that time, and now Yang will go on serve. And I think she's just been terrific in this first set.
That's a good one, and it's an ace. 24-21 set point here for the Bengals.
Boy, the Bengals coming out, and I just think Anoka has not matched Blaine's energy. Blaine's been terrific, and they have been in every point.
Yang serving again, little side spin on that. Vaughn, Shimmick, back row, Reeder keeps Anoka alive here in set one. 24-22, and they'll get the serve, and they'll substitute Ella Leaf off the bench and sitting down Piper Vaughn.
This is kind of the optimal lineup because you're back to Carmen Shimmick on serve for the Tornadoes. We'll see if they serve to the back line. I think they're going to go right at, not at Yang this time. Surprising.
Still set point. Set up here for Hansen through the block. Down! Off of Tanner, but she could not elevate the ball. And it's a big win here for the Blaine Bengals as they win set one here at Anoka. 25-22. We'll have set two for you coming up next. This is high school volleyball on QCTV Sports. I'd like to know who number 15 is for Blaine. Was that one of the numbers that you saw that...
Yeah, that's what I saw.
Together, we give children in poverty a chance to set their sights high and achieve their dreams. Learn more about Children International and join us in our life-changing work at children.org today.
Mom was always organized, but she started forgetting to pay her bills on time.
And she'd buy the same gifts over and over.
Telling the girls about my Alzheimer's diagnosis was really hard.
At first we had our cries, but then we were like, okay, let's make a plan.
Early detection gave us time to adapt together.
It's so important for you to think about what you can do and making the most of what you have.
If you or your family are noticing changes, it could be Alzheimer's. Talk about seeing a doctor together.
Back here at Anoka High School and the field house here for you as we get set for set number 2, Thursday night, high school volleyball. Tornadoes coming off a win over Andover on Monday, coming off a championship at the Hastings tournament last Saturday, going 4-0. And they have only lost 3 sets, now 4 sets all season long. That was just their 4th set loss. Their only other sets that they lost was that 3-1 loss at Champlin Park back on September 18th.
Yeah, disappointing second half of that set. They got up big. They got up 15-10. You think that's enough to close the deal, but I thought they kind of sleptwalked through the last part of that set, and they didn't match Blaine's energy. Blaine was just the more engaged team the last, 10, 15 points of that set.
Kenzie Aber serves it here to start it out. Little collision there up near the girder. Played over free ball by Brent. Aber, cross court here to Hansen. Off the block, dug out back row Leaf. Shimmick to Brent. And it's Hansen. Aber able to control that ball and set it up for her middle. And then it's Reeder goes cross court. That's dug out by Aber. Yang sets up. And it's Hansen to Tanner. Pushed over on the second one by Shimmick. Nice little sneaky play there by Carmen Shimmick. Got the Bengals not ready for it, 1-0.
Yeah, they kind of lost their ability to be kind of crisp in the middle of that. They weren't setting as well, weren't digging things out as easily. Things were coming very difficult to Anoka. A lot of free balls. They want to see if they can be a little crisper here in set 2.
1-0 Anoka. They serve with Shimmick. They come here near side. Jacobiak, the lefty. Dug back out. Tanner. Bengals. And a missed hit on the tip. 4 hits as it lands down on their side with McCarthy unable to get it across the net. 2-0 Anoka.
They need a long service game to start by Carmen Shimmick. That's usually what the doctor orders when they want to try to put a game away early.
Goes deep and long. Too much on that one. 2-1 signs it out to the Bengals.
So 2-1. Blaine gets the serve back, and after that win, that set win for Blaine, I would love to see they got to be riding high. Let's see if they can sustain that here through the early part of set 2.
Blaine's 2 wins here this season. They're coming off a win. They beat Totino Grace on Monday in straight sets. Shimmick up over to Maddie Hunter. Dug out. Aber comes near side, sets up Alstrup. Tornadoes ready for that. There's Brent, back row. Bengals defense has really been good. There's Jakubiak, right side swing. Knocked down by the Tornadoes, tipped and down, and a point for Blaine.
Well, we talk about hitting it where they ain't, and I don't think the Tornadoes have done a very good job of that so far through the early parts of this match. They just feel like they're hitting it right at the Blaine Bengals, and Blaine is digging everything out.
Tornadoes set up, Brent, and the block. Right here in front of us. McCarthy and Alstrup denying the Tornadoes. 3-2 Blaine.
You can't muscle everything. Sometimes you gotta have some finesse around the net, and that time they got rejected.
Shimmick, quick set in the middle, blocked again. Abby Leaf denied. And the Blaine defense, the block, and they're digging from the back row has been outstanding.
Tornadoes might be telegraphing where they're going a bit. They got to vary things up. They got to throw some misdirection at the Bengals, get them guessing a little more.
Serving is Alex Bridgeford, a freshman that's been brought up from the JV. And she's got a nice service run. Actually, that's 19. That's Claire Forrest. But you will see some of 15. She played some in that first set as a freshman. And Forrest goes back to serve here, and the Bengals have a 5-2 lead. Forrest.
Great
Tough serve, and it's an ace. Bengals have brought their A game here tonight,
no
6-2.
Question about it. Yep, they are doing excellent job behind the line serving. They're going on long sustained runs, and again, their energy on the court is terrific. Led by their libero, Min Chao Yang.
Tanner Shimmick goes over to Hunter.
I like that just to be something different, though.
Ready for it again. There's the tip by Blaine. Blaine has an answer for everything Anoka's throwing at him, and Anoka doesn't have an answer for what Blaine throws at them right now.
Well,
7-2 Bengals.
It's a big thing you're noticing, though. Anoka's diving all over the floor here. Blaine hasn't had to do that. That's a huge difference. Blaine
seems to be at the right place, the right time, all the time. Here's Reeder, dug out by Yang. Set up, Aber near side, the drive by Alstrup. It's off the block, but then it hits the antenna, goes out of bounds off the Anoka block. 8-2 Blaine.
Yeah, no answers right now for Jordan Alstrup and McCarthy. They are getting what they want at the net right now.
Another Claire Forrest serve. Tanner, Shimmick, middle set, right down and hammered Abby Leaf.
I had to have it. Had to have it that time.
Brent back to serve. Bengals leading it by 5. Tornadoes serving. Yang gets it again to her server. Played by Aber. Up and over off the top of the net. Shimmick. Back set. Leaf. Yang again. She's getting everything. Near side to Keller. Goes to the net and a double hit. Double hit on the Bengals. 8-4. Point for Anoka.
But you're certainly right about the fact that Mina Chow Yang is everywhere. Stopping everything.
Brent serving again. Off a little bit, Aber, Jacobiak cross court misses, and a nice little run here by the Tornadoes getting some momentum.
Might have found something serving at Claire Forrest. We'll see if they come at her again.
Logan Brent. Oh, that one dropped off the table, and even as well as she's played, Yang, the libero for Blaine, could not get to it. It's 8-6, and the Bengals want a timeout with the Tornadoes rallying here and on a run to cut it to 2.
Yeah, good timeout here by Blaine. Get a chance to go talk this over. After getting on a nice little run, Anoka giving a nice answer to stay in the game. Good timeout here to see what they can come up with and change. I like the serve there, though. They went with kind of a drop serve, did Logan Brent. Didn't try to cook one to the back line like I thought maybe they would. Instead, they go short with it. You wonder if they'll continue on that trend with this one, especially if Blaine lines up that way. Blaine kind of steered everybody towards the back line, anticipating a back serve. Didn't get one. Instead, it was dropped in front. Let's see if that gets them out of their rotation a bit, and then maybe see if they go back to serving at Claire Forrest in the back.
It's in the Northwest Suburban Conference Division A. Right now, Champlain Park remains undefeated at 3-0. Maple Grove 3-1. Anoka 3-1. Andover 2-2. Last check, Rogers is leading the other division. Rogers won the mythical championship in the crossover match against Champlain Park a year ago. Tanner, here's Reeder off the block, high to the back row, kept alive by Forrest. Back set, far side, Jakubiak, the block, but it's out. Tornadoes got their arms on it on the block, but couldn't steer it into the in between the lines, and it's 9-6.
That gets McCarthy to the serve, the freshman.
A couple freshmen playing here tonight. Blocked at the net, but reaching over the net. Or no, into the net. Anoka. Anoka was saying that Blaine was over the net, but there must have been a tornado in the net. And it will go here to Blaine, 10-6.
Couple of unforced errors here by the Tornadoes in this second set, giving the Bengals extra advantages. Can't do that.
McCarthy up and over on one. Then dunked. Two-hand jam by Abby Leaf on that ball that was hanging up over the net.
Yeah, I got to tell you, I think Abby Leaf has found some things. I would try to set her every time she's in the game as much as possible in the middle.
Allie Tanner serving. The white libero jersey. It's a jump serve. Set by Aber. Goes back set. Jakubiak that time. The block is in there with Manning and Reeder teaming up in a tandem block, and they direct it in.
Got to get your energy up right now if you're the Tornadoes.
They're in a dogfight here tonight. They're down one set. Blaine won the first one, 25-22. This is going to almost go over on one. The pass just a little bit off there by Alstrup, and Anoka didn't have to do anything. It hit the net and stayed down on the Blaine side. We've got a 1-point set.
Yeah, this is where the bench has to kind of bring some energy, and the people on the court have got to just step forward and put a little more into it. Turner's got to, Tanner, boy, you got me doing it.
Sorry
now.
about
you
that.
You totally ruined it for me. Allie Tanner's got to get on a run. And that's a big start. You've leveled the match at 10. You were down 8-2, and now the Tornadoes come back, level it at 10. If you're the Bengals, this is a critical moment for you. Don't panic here, and that's where you see Yang, the libero, trying to guide her team here to get back in line.
Here is the Tanner serve. Yang needing some help. Setting it up for Alstrup, and that's going to be down. Tanner tried the one-hand save to get it up in the air any way she could. 11-10 Bengals.
Boy, there is just no panic in Yang, Minichow Yang, 5'1" senior, but she is playing a lot taller than that right now for this Bengals team, and she is the on-court vocal leader for this team.
I was going to say she's a great quarterback. She tells everybody where the ball is and what they need. As she just dug out Reeder there, comes to the net. Over Alstrup, but it'll be long.
I do think some players tend to have a tendency to panic when a big spike is coming at them, or especially when someone has the reputation of a Hayden Reeder, and they tend to just sort of like dive or get out of the way or just whatever. None of that with Yang is what you're seeing. She is in perfect position and not intimidated and just goes right after every opportunity.
Good serve by Gibson, but a great pass from the back row by the Bengals. Reeder hammers it down the line. It's out. It just missed.
Thought maybe it was tipped. It wasn't. That thing was humming down the line. Just missed wide. 12-11 Bengals.
Here's the freshman Alex Bridgeford in to serve. She played significant minutes in the first set. And her jump serve. Tanner Shimmick for Manning. Bengals ready. Cross-court set for Hansen. And it's Brent to Shimmick. Here comes Reeder off the block and it deflects into the Blaine bench. Tied at 12.
Yeah, they were able to get up and block Hayden Reeder around this stretch of set one. Now Reeder back on serve. She's been able to put a few down in this set as well. Maybe making some adjustments.
Aber back set. Driven over Breitbarth. Shimmick is going to set up for Brent. Off the block high. Diving save Hansen. Back over. Reeder then plays it right back over. Aber, cross-court Hansen, dug out Reeder. Shimmick a chance to set, goes cross-court to Brent, and there's the point. 13-12 Anoka.
That's Hayden Reeder putting the cape on. We talked about that the other night when she got back on the back line and just dug out every single ball in a critical game against Andover. Right there, she digs out a couple of big ones and gives Brent a chance, and they get back on serve. They still lead 13-12.
Bridgeford with the pass, tipped over Hansen to the net. Shimmick, she'll tip it over on two. Aber is ready, but she's the setter, so Yang will play it at the net over free ball Hansen. Shimmick again, back set. Manning had to adjust. Blaine, can they take advantage of the free ball? Tipped around, too many hits. Hansen drove it over, and the Tornadoes couldn't quite keep it alive and get it back over on the legal number of hits. It's 13-all.
Yeah, Manning didn't agree with the lift call right there, but that's exactly what the call was. And it looked like that when you get those hits at the net that you're going to usually get that lift call often.
Yang. Pass, Reeder directs it in the middle. Nicely done, and then Gibson over. Aber set in the middle. That'll have to be tipped over. Tanner, Shimmick, Brent off the net, and it stays on the Anoka side. Could not clear the net. 14-13 Bengals. Yang back to serve.
Yeah, they're certainly not, Brent not as sharp, and Shimmick not as sharp with her sets either. And this is normally just such a really good passing team, struggling a little bit here.
Manning, and that's over. But again, they had to hit it just to drive. Feet on the floor there by Brent. Not what they wanted to do, and a lot of times those end up going long because you got to get it higher to get over the net when you're not jumping, Tim, and a lot of times you miss those.
Body language wasn't great on that one either by the Tornadoes. Something to think about here.
Well, Brent came back this time. The Bengals could not react to that, and reacting was Logan Brent.
You don't think Logan Brent was maybe a little upset when she hit that?
Was.
Did you get a vibe
that
she was maybe a little...
frustration was coming out. She's pushing her own teammates around.
Jeez.
Anoka down by one here, down by a set. Hansen, who's had a big match. Saved by Gibson, then over Gibson. Aber sets across to Hansen. And Gemma Hansen again 16-14 Bengals.
Boy, they're getting some great stuff from Gemma Hansen. Just been a good, complete team effort from the Bengals. They get up 16-14 here in set 2, and, you know, it's getting late early here for the Tornadoes. They need to make a move.
Kenzie Aber serving. Reeder just off the mark. Could not get it to the setter, and that's key. Shimmick had to end up trying to tip it over, and the Bengals were ready to deny it. 17-14 Blaine.
Coach Fenwick's going to take time out. You almost got to start thinking about your rotations a little bit. Do you want to do something different? Throw some people in different spots to try to change things up.
This is a section match for Section 7. Anoka had a pretty big lead just looking at the QRF in the section. Of course, that isn't everything. I don't think they go by that completely, if at all, for the seedings.
Be a great feather in the cap for the Bengals
Oh,
here,
it
though. I'll
certainly
tell you
would be.
that.
I mean, you can easily be demoralized by your record, but what we've seen here tonight, they're much better, way better than a 2-10 team.
Well, and normally at this stage in the season, you kind of start believing the record a little bit. Some of those kids do. I mean, it's common, right?
Oh,
if you
yes.
start seeing like, oh, we're 2-10, we're probably going to lose, things like that. Kids do that in the school. I hear it every day. But one thing I'm seeing from this Blaine team is it doesn't appear that there's a lot of quit here. They're still very tenacious. A lot of tenacity for a 2-10 team. They're playing hard for the coach, playing hard for each other, and I think they've caught the Anoka Tornadoes flat-footed here tonight.
And their hustle has been outstanding. Their positioning has been outstanding. Serving, and their serving's been very good. Aber, Shimmick to Brent. Through the block and down. Brent out there trying to be that spiritual leader here, trying to get him fired up. Will that work? Will they be able to get fired up? It's a 2-point set here, and Anoka's down here in the second set, 1-0.
They got who they want on serve with Shimmick.
And she drops it. There was some miscommunication there. Backpedaling was Yang, her and Hansen. That's an ace. It's a 1-point set.
They've got the rotation they want. They have both Leaf sisters on the front line with Logan Brent, Reeder in the back with Tanner.
Shimmick again. I don't think I've seen her with a service error yet this season in the matches I've seen. Shimmick, Brent, and she mishit that one.
Jumped a little early.
18-16 Bengals, and those were errors that we didn't see from this Anoka team on Monday against
Certainly
Andover.
Not. No, they were razor sharp, especially in set 2 and 3. Now Claire Forrest on serve, and I thought this is where Blaine kind of made a move in set 1.
Off the top of the net, they're ready for it. Shimmick gets it, and then in the middle was a tip. Calling for the tip was Abby Leaf. They're looking around.
I think they think there was a touch. Anoka wants a touch there. Are they saying there was a touch? We're going to look and see.
They're going to replay.
They're going to say
they're going to say out. Okay. Wasn't the replay. That's the fingers.
It's a close play, and it did look a little weird, but I don't know if there was enough there to assume touch.
So 19-16. Bengals get the point. They continue to serve. Shimmick to Brent. This one's down through the block.
I like that, serving to the near side. You get a set back to Logan Brent. It works. They haven't worked a ton to the near side of the net here much in this set or in this match, really. So that was something different to look at, changing the angle on the Bengals.
Prevents Blaine from getting to 20. And here is Brent serving to the far side. Steered in the middle there by Claire Forrest to the near side. And a block by the Tornadoes. Ella Leaf led the way.
Boy, 2 hotly contested sets. Logan Brent trying to get the equalizer here.
Brent serving 18-19. Backpedaling is Ulstrup. Aber back sets, driven and in. McCarthy found the soft middle against that Anoka defense and dropped it in there.
Boy, McCarthy from the middle hitter position, boy, she's been really, really good. Haven't had a lot of answers for her so far.
McCarthy serving. Reeder over on 1. Up in the air. Over free ball. Tanner, Shimmick, jump set, Abby Leaf. And Abby Leaf will sit down. In comes Ivy Manning. Back to a 1-point set.
Firing it at Breitbarth that time. Very close play at the net. Good battle.
Tanner again. Aber back set, and the left-handed drive is down by Jakubiak.
Once again,
21-19.
though, we're diving. If you're the Anoka Tornadoes, Shimmick's fully extended out on the ground to try to get that dig. You're not in a position to get it. You got to try to anticipate a little bit better here if you're Anoka.
Jakubiak serving. Brent, Shimmick, Leaf, and down. Another one for Ella Leaf. Sophomore getting engaged here. Has got it back to within one.
They go Gibson on serve here, fresh off the sub for Leaf.
And it's across. Forrest, Aber. That looked like a carry.
Yeah, it looked like a lift to me.
Oh, they're going to call Anoka in the net. Instead of that, that was a hook shot. I thought she carried that ball, but they're looser on that than they used to be back in the old days. Back in my day, 22-20 point here.
I think we're almost not allowed to use that anymore as announcers.
Back
we can't
in my
do
day?
the my day. I think that's kind of out.
It does make you sound old. Alex Bridgeford on the serve. Reeder gets it. They dig it out. It's in the air. Hansen directs it towards the net. It's over by Aber. Tanner, Shimmick, Reeder knocks it over. Yang, Aber, back set coming through on the slide is Breitbarth. Ends up down, and it's a point here for Anoka.
It's the first time in a while that they've had the Bengals scrambling around a little bit on their side, Jim. I mean, they have been in great position the whole time, but this time you saw the Bengals running a little off balanced.
Reeder, good low serve, but again, the Bengals ready for it. Set up Hansen. Back row Reeder. Shimmick camps under it for Brent. Left side block back, and then up over by Manning. Aber sets across. Hansen off the block high. Hunter still alive and down. Tanner just could not get to it in time. And the Bengals get a point. They're within two here from winning this second set, 23-21.
Yeah, kind of a spinny dig by Madeline Gibson. And I think Chris Fenwick wants timeout.
Yep, another timeout here for Anoka. Yang will be serving when we restart this set, 23-21. In favor of the Blaine Bengals.
Boy, I'll tell you what, the Tornadoes have just not been able to string anything together in this match. And again, I really don't think defensively they're playing all that well. They're not in position to make the proper dig when they need to. They're flying all over the floor. They're diving everywhere. It just feels like every time they have to make a dig, they're not in position to do it. They're sort of like leaning forward, leaning to the side, diving. And when that happens, you throw the timing off everywhere because you're not able to get the proper height on the dig that you want. The setter's not able to set it the way that they need to set it, and you're not able to get the opportunities you're looking for at the net.
Meanwhile, the positioning of the Bengals has been perfect.
I think so. Spot on. You never see the Bengals diving. It hasn't happened one time.
23-21. Blaine serving their libero Yang. Ready to grab the ball here. And a key point here. A little side spin on that to Reeder. Shimmick sets up Brent. That one's down in a hurry.
Boy, I kind of like Brent out of the middle here. Every time she gets a chance from there, it feels like there's less height against her. She's got a little bit more of a clearer path, and she could work both directions.
Good point. Yeah, you can go left or right.
It's going to be Manning serving.
And they weren't sure whose serve was next, and they double-checked the sheet, and it's Ivy Manning, 23-22. Blaine down, up by one here. Anoka serving down by one. Again, Yang got that one up into the air. Over free ball by McCarthy. Shimmick set, middle. Brent, tip, scrambled. Yang saves it. It's over free ball to the back row. Manning. Shimmick. Here comes Brent, and she finds the far corner. That ties it up.
Once again, out of the middle. Not working off the outside corner as much, but working more out of the middle. Brent's got options both right and left, and that time she goes up the far side, puts it in perfectly. We're tied.
Manning ticks the top of the net. Yang pushes it over to Hansen, who sends it wide. And now it is set point Anoka.
Well, they've found something that works here out of that timeout, and now we get a timeout on the other side by the Bengals.
24-23, seesaw last 6, 7, 8 points or so.
You get the vibe we might be here a little while tonight.
Little longer than the other matches that I've broadcast here this season for Anoka.
Every game's been hotly contested. You got to tip your cap to the Bengals for the way that they have fought. But credit Anoka here these last few minutes. They seem to have, they're trying to circle the wagons here a little bit. Chris Fenwick has had to really motivate his girls on the bench. Had to been getting up, doing some different instructions, trying some different things, working some new wrinkles. I kind of like more Brent in the middle, though. I really do.
I got a fever, and the only prescription is more Logan Brent in the middle.
Duly noted.
Yes.
You can fill that at the pharmacy.
Manning. Set up here by the Bengals. Back set, pushed over there. McCarthy comes right back across Jakubiak. Then it's Aber, cross-court Hansen, blocked. Bengals reset. Back set for McCarthy again. Ready for it, Reeder. Shimmick, this is set point. There's Brent, tipped. One-hand save, Hansen towards the bench and directed back in by Jakubiak. What a save that was. Shimmick, here comes the roll set. That one on the slide attack by Leaf. And the Bengals keep that alive and play it over. It's a free ball situation. Reeder to Brent, blocked. Right back to Brent, it's back over. Hansen, Aber, McCarthy, the slide, and it misses. And Anoka has come back to win set 2 and tie this match at 1, Tim, 25-23. That was some good, exciting volleyball.
That was a fun point right there. Both teams getting after it, and it took a little touch play, unforced error by the Bengals that sends it out. It's 1-1. Not what our scoreboard says right there, but it is 1-1. Anoka and Blaine after 2 sets.
And we'll be back after this to Anoka High School volleyball on QCTV Sports.
Kids across America are going to school hungry. Millions of kids every day. But one simple thing can help change all of this for a hungry child in America. Good, healthy food and the energy it brings. With help from caring people across America, No Kid Hungry is providing healthy meals and hope to hungry kids so they can build better futures. To learn more about ending child hunger in America, go to helpnokidhungry.org today.
I'm Naheem Hines, proud supporter of the Muscular Dystrophy Association. My mom has muscular dystrophy, and the MDA helps her and kids like my buddy Ethan.
My name is Ethan, and I'm 12 years old. Thanks to the Muscular Dystrophy Association and people like you, I have more hope than ever before. And MDA funds over 150 care centers for kids like me.
For over 70 years, MDA has been transforming the lives of people living with muscular dystrophy, ALS, and related neuromuscular diseases. Learn more at mda.org today.
I had to leave my baby in the hospital NICU.
If we come together, we can help every mom and baby be healthy and strong.
Join March for Babies, a mother of a movement.
Can I get the now bar, please?
$1.
Have a good one.
Got it.
Hey, what's going on?
Hey.
Let me get a now bar.
Sure. $1.
Appreciate you.
Got it.
Along with Tim Anderson, Jim Erickson here. It is a set 3. We played 2 sets, 25-22 Blaine, 25-23 Anoka. What do you expect here? What are you going to see, you think, Tim, in set number 3?
Well, it's been 2 games of attrition so far. I mean, they've been long sets, long battles. And so you get the vibe that we're going to have to play it. Obviously, we're going to play at least 2 more, maybe even 3 more. And I'm curious to see just if Blaine can hang the entire night long, right? You know that they're not as deep as the Tornadoes are, at least on paper.
Right.
But to this point, again, the paper hasn't mattered a whole heck of a lot. I think the Bengals have been the more disciplined team, and the Tornadoes have a Bengal by the tail.
Can't you see? Thank you, Buck Owens. At the net, blocked, right back to Leaf, but she came up short. Point Blaine to start this one out. 1-0 Bengals.
That's just what the high school volleyball coverage needs here on QC is more Buck Owens references.
More Buck Owens references,
We continue to say that many times. The kids are all about it.
Following tonight's match, hee-haw right here. Here's Shimmick, back set, Brent down. And Anoka has their first point, tied at 1.
Well, Brent's chili ran a little hot in the middle of set 2. And I think that was kind of one of the pieces that got the Tornadoes back in it. She started to make some big kills and got the Tornadoes kind of back on track, kind of willed them to victory.
Jacobiak, Tanner got a hand on it. Can't keep it alive, though. 2-1 Blaine.
Jacobiak's had another phenomenal game here for the Bengals. I really have been impressed. It's been, like I said, a collective effort. Have you found like a weak spot, a place where you can attack
Not really.
on the Bengals? It just feels like the Bengals are ready for anything.
As a unit, they've been very cohesive. And there's an ace serve.
And that's the Leaf sisters, not quite sure who was supposed to get that one. I wonder if Ella got in the vision of Abby. Abby didn't quite see that one coming.
Claire Forrest, the ace serve, as she'll deliver again. 3-1 Blaine. Brent Shimmick for Reeder. Blocked and down. Ella Leaf tried to get low to get it back up. Couldn't do so. 4-1.
Obviously, I'm a huge Hayden Reeder fan, but I think the Bengals have had a good scouting report on her tonight. They've been figuring her out.
It's 4-1 for Forrest. Tanner. Shimmick, short set in the middle, tipped over by Leaf. Bengals dig that out. They roll it over. Shimmick is going to give it to Reeder on the left side. Finds an opening. Dugout backside. Wonderful save by Aber. And then rolled over on the other side by the Bengals. Shimmick, jump set. There's Leaf, long. So now 5-1 Bengals with Claire Forrest, who's been a good server tonight for the Bengals, ready to step back and deliver.
Bengals getting out hot here each of these first 3 sets.
Brent Shimmick, Ella Leaf, Yang to the back row. This will have to be a free ball over. Brent Shimmick camps under it. Reeder, and there's a kill. 5-2.
Shimmick had to run that one down as the set. It wasn't perfect, but she was able to put enough air on it to give Reeder a chance. Now Tanner to serve. We'll see the jump.
Angles it to the near sideline in the middle. Aber scrambling over Jakubiak. Will have to play it over free ball. Shimmick in the middle for Ivy Manning this time. She missed the corner.
Yeah, and those are the unforced errors you really just can't have if you're Anoka right now. You got to try to mount some long-standing offense when you're on serve. And when you get a look like that in the middle, you really want to take advantage of those.
I think we got the wrong score up there. It was 5-2. Should be 6-2 now in favor of the Bengals. They put another one down. Should be 7-2 now.
I'm sure somebody will update that.
Yeah,
there it is.
Yeah, there it is. 7-2. The Bengals. They just will not go away here tonight. Serving right to left, McCarthy. Shimmick, again, can't get the perfect set, but sometimes Reeder, when you've got that kind of reach and that kind of jumping ability, you don't need the perfect set. But that, even though they got the point there, that just shows the issue that they've had, that everything has been off just a little bit. And when it is, that set, if you're not right to your setter, she's got to scramble. That means the set's not going to be right where your hitters need it. And that's kind of the way the night has gone here for Anoka. A lot of that has been what Blaine has been able to do tonight to keep the Tornadoes off balance. As they feed Reeder, dug out nicely up high in the air. Over free, Ulstrup, back to the net, Shimmick to Manning, that at the top of the net and off the block, pushed over Aber on 2. Brent, Shimmick, Reeder, blocked, and the Bengals can't keep it alive. They got the block on it, but then it dropped straight down.
But we started to see the Bengals diving a little bit more on that one. They were kind of moving all over the floor, and that's the Tornadoes at least changing things up enough to get the Bengals moving a bit more.
Gibson. Aber. They go short set. Off the block. It was a touch. Point Bengals.
I want to see a little more of that on the Anoka side. Those quick little change of paces right there. Those quick little tap overs. Those little change of direction, misdirection type plays. That time, perfect job by Ella Breitbarth and the Bengals.
Jakubiak.
Again, we're
played
diving.
Over. Yeah, Gibson over on 1. That's all they could do. Bengals could not clear the net. And that'll give Anoka the point, 8-5 and the serve. The Tornadoes are down here, 8-5 here, set 3. We're all tied at a set apiece.
I'd like to see Madeline run up on that one a little bit and get under it as opposed to just diving for it.
Yang, one-hand save, Aber, roll shot pushed over there by the Bengals. Shimmick, Brent plops it over. Yang, Aber, near side, the swing, and it ends up being out.
Looks like it might have caught like the antenna
I
or
think
something
Jordan
right there.
Alstrup hit that near side antenna right in front of our official. Reeder serving 6-8.
That's up for grabs. Got to knock that down.
Yep,
Yep.
and they did. Brent right at the net cleans up the garbage up there up top that cord. Knocks it down. Tornadoes have it back within 1.
Not quite what the Bengals wanted out of the back line, and you knew that was up for grabs.
Reeder, Jacobiak. Back over, again another free. Reeder, Shimmick, Manning, blocked, dug out of the net. Aber has to deal with her own player. And Jakubiak did a nice job playing that over from the back row. Now here comes Brent, blocked. Ace block right there by the Bengals.
That's that Breitbarth and Kenzie Aber combination in the center, and they are making life difficult for the power game of the Anoka Tornadoes.
Their block game has given that power game for Anoka. It's given them fits all night long. 9-7 Bengals serving. It's Bridgeford serving. Brent driving, and that's 5 rows up. It's a kill for Logan Brent.
Once again, that's Logan Brent out of the middle, where she's got options, and you saw her kind of misdirect that. She looked like she was lining up to take it down the near side, and instead goes the other way.
Manning. Bridgeford, Aber, back set, Breitbarth, kicked around, literally kicked by Logan Brent off her foot.
Boy, Ella Breitbarth has been really good. 6'tall junior. Doing such a nice job.
How was this Blaine team only 2-10?
I don't know. Yeah, there's some players here.
I know. Maybe they just haven't found themselves, and now here tonight they have found themselves. Brent again, blocked right back at him. Reeder in the back row, resets. And then Brent tips it over. Bengals already, as they have been all night. Reeder with a dig, scrambling, Shimmick. Another scramble, but not over. Good hustle, but again, the Tornadoes just out of place there and could not get that ball over the net.
Yeah, tough dig for Reeder, and that forced Shimmick to have to really get on her horse to go get that thing. Got to it, just not enough to get it over.
Yang to Reeder, 11-8 Bengals. Tipped over on the second hit, Shimmick. Sometimes a setter can do that, throw that curveball at the other team. 11-9, and Shimmick back to set.
Might need a little more of that because a lot of those sets are coming right at Shimmick, but are too deep, so they're not giving Carmen an opportunity to set those up for the outside hitter. So sometimes for Carmen, she might just need to take those over a little more often.
Shimmick serving here for the Bengals. Scrambling, Yang, and still scrambling, and Hansen got it over. Brent, Shimmick, Leaf. Big dig by Bridgeford. Then it's Yang. Back to the net, up and over by Aber. Shimmick will set up in the middle. Here comes Brent in the middle, and she hit the line. What did you say before? Logan Brent from the middle. That has been her favorite spot. And she's been able to scatter the ball from the middle. 1 point here, separating the teams.
Yeah, she looks more comfortable, like Blaine doesn't have an answer for her at the middle of the net right now.
Shimmick goes to the back row. Bridgeford, Aber, Hansen. Overhand dig, nicely done by Shimmick. And then tipped over by Ella Leaf. Scrambling the Bengals. Oh, they got it over somehow. Boy, they're the masters of that one-arm save. They got several players that'll do that. They'll just fling their arm out, and they'll save it, and they end up getting a point.
Boy, that looked like a cinch point for the Tornadoes, and instead it's a point for the Bengals, and that's just an example of the Bengals not giving up on anything.
Yeah. And how demoralizing is that when you're the other team, you're trailing, and you think you got a point, and the other team just miraculously saves it. That can be demoralizing.
Serving at Brent on the backside.
Shimmick, and that hit the ceiling and comes down. Unfortunate there for the Anoka Tornadoes. 13-10. Bengals back to serve. Aber.
That's also an example of just the spin being a little difficult for the Tornadoes to handle.
Aber serving to Tanner. Shimmick. Back set. Brent. Block. Shimmick. Oh, nice save by Reeder, and then Tanner plays it over. Bengals, though, can set it up. Hansen, and she puts it down. Tornadoes did a great job getting back in position to receive that attack after the scramble to get it over, but the Bengals again come up on that play to get the point and a timeout. 14-10 Bengals.
I'm a little worried about Hayden Reeder, to be honest with you, though. She hustled on that one, but she's I'll hold that point. We'll talk schedules for a second, but just looking at some body language there. Looking at the Tornadoes coming up, it's Coon Rapids tournament this week, and the Simley will be there as part of that tournament. There's a big game coming up at Maple Grove soon. Hutchinson, Robbinsdale, Armstrong to finish the season. A lot going on for the Tornadoes here in the next week or so. On the other side for the Bengals, Holy Angels, they're on their way to a tournament there where they're going to see Cambridge Isanti. They'll see Pine City at St. Francis. It's a good schedule coming up for the Bengals where I think they can get some games and get some things moving in a positive direction. When games start to run this long, the Tornadoes haven't played a lot of four-set matches, and Hayden Reeder's been living above the net the entire night. Every play's a jump, a spike. That takes a lot out of you, right? There's a lot of conditioning that's got to go into that. And Hayden Reeder's a great athlete, no question. But you saw her after running for that one. She starts to have hands on the knees, kind of grabbing at the jersey a little bit, and that's usually a sign that a kid's getting tired.
Just a little more than 2 weeks, not less than 3 weeks left in the regular season here in high school volleyball. Nice little push to the back row by Shimmick. That throws the Bengals off balance and coming out of the timeout. Just what you want to do, get the point inside out. Shimmick serving. Or excuse me, Logan Brent serving.
Yeah, Brent serves.
To Hansen, Aber, Jakubiak, and that was off of Shimmick. And tried to react with the overhand and just couldn't steer it to the middle.
Yeah, Ella Leaf's got to react to that one a little quicker. Shimmick pops it up in the air, but you noticed all the open space between Shimmick and Leaf. There was just no room for anybody to go, and everybody's standing around looking at the ball. Got to be moving and hustling, and when you see that, got to be on top of it.
Claire Forrest serving. Reeder blocked off the hand of Tanner. Shimmick right back to Reeder. She rolls it off the block and down. Point for Anoka. They'll get the serve back.
I love Hayden Reeder's just body language and the way she goes about it. She just loves being out there. But you can feel like she's lost a little zip on the fastball right now. I wonder if she might be just a little gassed here, playing on adrenaline.
Tanner jump serving here for Anoka and off of Yang. One of her rare errors here on the serve receive. Goes as an ace.
Yeah, every now and again you can get eaten up by some spin, and that's what Allie Tanner put on that. We'll see if they go right back at her with the same kind of serve.
Comes closer here to the near side and goes down the far sideline but missed. Tried to pinpoint that one. Tried the corner and missed, and 16-13 the side out here to the Bengals.
Yeah, Tornadoes need to get a quick kill here and see if they can't get back on track with the service game.
McCarthy going long.
There's an example of that's kind of what you needed right there.
Yep, back-to-back service errors here. Teams exchange points. 16-14 favor the Blaine Bengals. We're tied at a set apiece. We're in the third set if you're just joining us.
This is Gibson's turn in the service rotation.
She's got it. She delivers. So does Aber with a nice back set. Rolled over by Jakubiak. And it's Brent Reeder, back row. Forrest in the middle here for the Bengals. Almost a miss hit there by Gibson. And then Reeder pushes it down the line. She's saying a touch. Nobody saw a touch.
I didn't see a touch there at all that time. And I know the Tornadoes don't like it, but I didn't see a touch. I mean, the ball just didn't really move that much.
No.
So you can usually tell when there's a slight deflection.
When you're struggling and you're trying to come from behind, sometimes you see something that you want to see, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Because
yeah, there's just nothing that you could see there to make you think that was deflected. No bounce, no nothing, no real change of direction.
Hannah Jakubiak will be serving here.
I think she's done well, and that lefty serve has caused some problems.
I think so. Not used to it. A little different spin. They say that about left-handed pitchers and left-handed quarterbacks. Tanner. It's on the Anoka side. Shimmick, quick set to Manning, and it's down. There's that quick set, Tim. You've probably said, and you've said a couple of times, maybe that's something they can do in the middle to throw them off a little bit. Little change of pace.
Yeah, sometimes you can't just go with the same formula. Sometimes you can do it and you can have it all night, but sometimes you got to vary things up.
Reeder, overhand pass to Kubiak. And Yang will play it over free ball. Reeder, here's Manning again to the back row. That hit the girder, actually hit the backboard of the basketball stanchion. And it's Shimmick to Brant. Oh, what a dig there by Yang. Oh, my goodness. Basically preventing herself, defending herself. That was in self-defense more than just a dig. Holy cow.
And you can see the look on Madison Hunter and the Anoka Tornadoes. I don't think they can believe what they just saw. Yeah, Madison, my mind's blown too.
That's like Wonder Woman deflecting bullets.
That's when you start to look around and go, is this our night?
Right. Yeah, exactly. That's like the save of the year. Just because of the speed that was as that ball was coming to Yang. 18-15 Bengals. Shimmick sets up Logan Brent. It's off the block, little touch, and it's down on the Blaine side. Anoka steers it right back to them, cutting it to 2.
All right, 18-16. We always talk about who's the first one to get to 20.
Ivy Manning. Long.
Ooh,
just missed.
She didn't look comfortable on that jump serve. Clearly wanted to try it and do it, which is a little bit different for Anoka. They don't jump serve all the time, but this game they've come at it with a little bit more of that. That time it was long.
Trying anything to try and throw that serve, receive, and that defense off for the Bengals. They haven't been able to do it. Shimmick over to Logan Brent. Off the block. Played up by Hansen, then back to Gemma Hansen. Reeder, Shimmick, Brent, down. Off the block. And then down on the Blaine side.
Big side out.
This set has been basically 2 points, 2-3 points. It's been seesawing back and forth. And, of course, that's no good for Anoka here because they need to go on a run here and cut the deficit.
Yeah, Anoka's chasing. Has been the entire match.
Steered to the middle by Aber. Flipped over McCarthy. Shimmick sets it over for Brent. Nice save from the back row. That was Bridgeford. Then down on the near side, Hansen. Shimmick unable to get to it. 2017, and Blaine is the first team to 20.
Boy, you tell you what, nice play by Alexandra Bridgeford. Stepping up, making a huge play, the young freshman. Big dig in the back, and a good opportunity for the Bengals here.
Aber.
Great serve.
Yes. Tanner over on one. Hansen. Reeder. Off the girder. Back over by Brent. Bridgeford. Aber. Set in the middle. Tipped over Jakubiak. Shimmick. Quick set for Leaf. And too much air underneath that one for Abby Leaf.
And you can kind of tell when those are going to happen. When Abby's at her best, she's going down with it, right? That spike is coming at a downward motion. She's catching the ball sort of on the descent of her arm, but that time she's more hitting the ball on a straight line, more up, and that's what's putting more air under the ball.
21-17 Bengals. They won the first set here tonight, 25-22. Anoka rallied after trailing a lot in that second set, especially after we got to 20. They were able to turn the tables in the last 5 or 6 points and get a 25-23 win. But right now, Blaine trying to go up 2-1, and they lead it by 4.
Yeah, they got a late timeout in that second set where they kind of found something. They regrouped and made a little charge. They're going to need that again here as they get this timeout. So we'll see if they make that same adjustment and see if they can close the gap back on the Bengals. But what they have to do is get the side out right here, get back on serve, and then they need an extended service run from somebody.
Kenzie Aber serving. Gets the whistle. Gets the direction from the bench, and it's long. That is not what the bench sign said, I'm sure. She just a little too much oomph on that one.
And they get Brent on serve, so job one so far for the Tornadoes.
Top spin serve, Yang, Aber. Tipped over McCarthy. Over free ball by Leaf. Aber sets here near side Jakubiak. Dug out Tanner. And then some miscommunication between Shimmick and Reeder. They were both kind of looking at each other, and it dropped in between. 22-18 Blaine.
That's got to be Reeder's ball. Reeder had the play, had the defensive position. Shimmick's diving over on that one, but that you can't let the diver make that play. I think if you're Hayden, you got to have that one.
Ball's in front of you like that, exactly. It's like outfield in baseball. Shimmick, Reeder, can they make up for it? And they do. That almost went right off the head of the official up on the podium. Nice quick little neck move there to get out of the way of it. 22-19, big side out, but like I said before, these don't do any good unless you can outscore the opponents and go on a little, at least a 3-point run here, maybe 4 or more, certainly.
Yeah, certainly you'd like to get 3 points to at least square it at 22. And even if you can get a 1-point lead, get up 23-22 before something happens, you give yourself a little bit of wiggle room when you do that. You have no wiggle room right now. An ace here from Tanner would really, really serve the purposes of the Tornadoes.
Are you making a call? Here comes Allie Tanner. To Yang, it's going to go over on one, and that basically serves as the same thing. Yang could not keep it on her side of the court, and then it was dunked by Leaf.
That's where Tanner's serve, I think, has been really good in this match. She kind of serves that downward kind of drop ball. It kind of what you think of when you think of fast-pitch softball. It has that spin, and then it just falls off the table. I'd like to see her go right back to that and drop it right in front of Yang.
Ella Leaf with the flush, and the serve by Tanner. Bengals get it up in the air. Jakubiak, overhand pass by Brent to Shimmick. Here comes Reeder, the block, but it's out. Bengals got a hand on it. They blocked it. They denied Reeder. But the point here to the Tornadoes, and they have it to within 1.
They led Reeder a little too much, got away with it. Now a timeout for Blaine. That was not a bad set. They had a chance, but just led Reeder too close to the net. She couldn't do much with it.
22-21 Bengals. Anoka will have the serve when we come back here, when we get back to live action. Bengals using the timeout here.
And you got to think Reeder and Brent are like the two players that never come out of the game. So they're circling all the way around, and they haven't played a lot of 4-set matches. They haven't played a lot of games that get this deep where you're playing 23-21, 25-24, stuff like that. You're not in a lot of these matches so far this year.
That's when you're conditioning. You got to reach down. That's where the practice conditioning comes in.
Bengals, on the other hand, in a lot of their matches, they've been in some 3-2 sets and 3-2 matches. They've been playing 5 sets is nothing to the Bengals. They've done it quite often this year.
And I don't know if I'm conditioned to do 4.
That's a great point.
I mean, I'm not sure what I'm going to have left in the 4th set here.
We'll call to the bullpen, too. We got
call
Dan
the bullpen,
here.
yeah, exactly. Tornadoes get it to Reeder, but she missed. That just missed. It was long.
Yep, I agree. They don't like it, but that's long.
No, we could see it. We had a better angle than the Tornadoes on their side, and really, certainly live, it looked long and out.
And linesman Shelby
Close.
was on top of it. She saw it clearly.
Yep. 23-21. Serving McCarthy. Reeder. Oh, she hurt her arm. Somebody ran into her when she passed that up ahead to the net, and it's off the net, and it's a point Anoka as it stays on the Bengals side. That's a big point, but Hayden Reeder is hurt.
Yeah, I think she's a
favoring elbow or a face. I think she jammed a finger.
Jammed a finger. I think she's been nicked, and you can see she's seen her grabbing the jersey, grabbing the knees.
I don't know if that was the ball that jammed her finger or if it was a player from her own team that kind of came in and ran into her. As Reeder hits this one, knocks it over. There's another one-hand save. Over by the Bengals. Reeder to the net, and that hits the net. Reeder looking for a touch. They're not going to get it. It's out of bounds. Off of the Tornadoes, never cleared the net. 23-22. Bengals get the serve.
24, actually. It's Matt.
Oh,
it's
yeah, they're slow.
Point.
Now it's set point.
All right.
Jakubiak serving. Trying to get Blaine a 2-on lead. Tanner, Shimmick, Reeder, block high. Bengals able to handle that. And Aber sends it in the middle. Roll shot over to Tanner. Shimmick sets up Reeder. Reeder rolls it over the block. Nice dig by Alstrup. And then a back row, Jakubiak sends it across. Shimmick. Oh, sneaky play there by Shimmick. Knocks it over on 2. Keeps the Tornadoes alive.
Still got to fight off a match point. Hayden Reeder needs to have a big serve right here. Got to play a perfect point if you're the Tornadoes. And if you're the Bengals, you're just thinking side out any way you can.
The pivotal 3rd set here in a 1-1 match, and she went long. And Blaine wins set 3 on a service error, 25-23. Exact score of our previous set. And Blaine has taken a 2-1 lead in this match, Tim.
It's been an incredible night for the Blaine Bengals. And these have been 3 very hotly contested matchups, no question. They've been great games, great sets. Tornadoes have got to play a little bit sharper, though, or they're going to be finding themselves in some trouble here in set number 4.
Fourth set coming up next right here on QCTV Sports.
They are part of your community. They are your students. They are your teachers. They are your coworker. They are your friends and your family. They are experiencing homelessness. Understanding is the key to the solution. You can help them by giving them the benefit of the doubt, asking them what they need and how you can help them, acknowledging that you see them by sharing a smile. These little things go a long way to be seen and felt understood. They are part of our community and we are part of theirs. Homelessness will not go away without your help. To get help or to give help, visit our website.
Tim and Jim here at the Anoka Fieldhouse on a Thursday night. Football tomorrow night. Anoka's got Coon Rapids. I saw the Anoka Maple Grove game on Friday for homecoming. Wasn't what the Tornadoes wanted to have against the defending 6A champs, but now they get to play Coon Rapids for the first time in a few years, and Coon Rapids is a much improved team, and that'll be at Coon Rapids tomorrow.
Yeah, it's going to be a very interesting matchup because obviously when you get a chance to watch Kaijan Cummings Crawford, anytime you get the opportunity to go out and do that. That is a dynamite player to watch. The Cardinals have some speed and some weapons. Tornadoes are going to be in for a good test tomorrow night.
Here we are starting set 4, and Blaine's going to get an ace. Blaine has started each of the sets strong, and they start one here, 1-0.
Yeah, Ella Leaf wasn't sure if she wanted to play that one as a bump or if she wanted to try to kind of overhand set it, and that one just sort of ate her up.
1-0 Bengals. And this time it's an error on the other side. Kenzie Aber hits the antenna. 1-1.
All right, Carmen Shimmick back on serve.
Only once. This is just the second time that the Tornadoes have found themselves down in a match, and the other time was that 3-1 loss at Champlin Park. Bengals tip it over. Tanner, Shimmick, Brent. There's the block and down.
I just feel like too often tonight the Tornadoes have sort of hit into the block. They've hit into the brick wall.
And
they
then
haven't
hoping
tried
for
to
the
redirect.
best.
Exactly. Like they're just thinking, well, if I hit at it as hard as I can, I'm so ferocious and powerful, they can't stop it.
But the Bengals block has been on point tonight. As they serve here, Shimmick, jump serve, and Abby Leaf.
And that's what I'm talking about. Don't hit it into the block. Try to go over the block. Try to go around it. Move to the left. See if you can adjust that defensive Blaine a little bit, soften it up, and then maybe take your chance with the power game.
2-2 Brent serving. Comes back over. Ella Leaf sends it, but the Bengals ready for it as they push it over. Tanner, Shimmick, Reeder, close to the net, too close. Both teams made the contact with it, and the Bengals get the advantage, and it's down on the Anoka side, 3-2 Blaine.
And I think just to preserve Reeder a little bit, because she's been on the floor a ton, she's been above the net the whole night, I would, again, want to give more chances to Abby Leaf in the middle.
McCarthy serving this time. Brent, Shimmick, Reeder, more towards the middle, and this time powers it off the block and down. Point Tornadoes tied at 3.
They're just going to try to ride their horses to the finish line. That's a long unforced error from Allie Tanner.
Tanner long, 4-3.
Gets Jakubiak back on serve.
Yep, she's the 5'9" junior. Got a great left-hand serve. Shimmick for Reeder, comes in strong, and the block, it stays on the Bengals side. Point Anoka.
Yeah, I just feel like it's a lot of the same stuff, right? Bumping, setting, trying to get Reeder on the outside. My thought would be we got to try something different. Let's work the near side. Let's work the middle a little bit more often if I'm the Tornadoes.
And they've had success doing that, but just not enough. It's worked a few times, but just not enough to hang with the Blaine Bengals here so far. Shimmick, Reeder does it again. Ready in the back row. It's dug out. Aber comes near side and is kept alive. Good dig by Tanner and then pushed over Gibson. Bengals ready. High off the block. Tanner, Shimmick, and it's Reeder again. Dug out Yang.
Boy, she's so good.
Set up for Allstrip from the attack line. That will loop long and high. She was leaning backwards and could not keep it in the court. 5-4 Tornadoes up by 1 with Gibson serving.
Boy, Mina Chow Yang is about as textbook libero as you're going to find.
And this is out wide near side by Maddie Gibson. 5-5.
Subs coming as Blaine making some switching.
Hanson and Bridgeford coming in.
Really impressed with Bridgeford tonight. Works that back line nicely, good server.
We don't even have her on the varsity roster. Had to find her on the JV roster. Bridgeford on the serve. Reeder has a go over on one. Hanson then drops it in, finds a little soft middle. Sends it in for a Blaine lead.
Gemma Hansen has been really good tonight as well in the bright pink shoes. Taking care of business on the near side for the Bengals.
The freshman Bridgeford ready to serve it again. Tanner up high amongst the rafters. Shimmick, Reeder, flat-footed, and she hit the line. That one hit the line this time. Maybe a sign of better luck here. And more breaks for Anoka as they tie it here at 6.
Yeah, they could use a few of those bounces, no question about it.
Reeder, that one dropped. But it's kept alive by Bridgeford. Up and over, Tanner, Reeder, they got a chance, and Gibson over. Bridgeford, Aber. Sets it here to Hanson off the Anoka block and into the net, and they can't dig it out of the net. Stays down on the Bengals side.
Yeah, great job by Ivy Manning staying above the net that time, sending it back, giving the Tornadoes a rare lead.
Yeah, they seldom have led here in this match. Yang off of the Reeder serve. Hanson directs it back in the middle, and it's going to be short. Kubiak came up short, kind of short-armed that one, and Anoka 8-6.
Yeah, you get the feeling like ever since like 15-10 of the first set, they have been chasing 95% of this match.
Reeder serving it here. Anoka trying to force a fifth and deciding set here in this match. Reeder, great dig by Gibson, comes back to Brent. And it's Bridgeford and Aber, cross-court set to the near side to Hanson, and she hit the antenna. I thought. The antenna moved. It must have. What happened is the ball actually hit the net cable. That moved the antenna. But then Anoka called for the violation, so it ends up being a Blaine point.
So trailing 7-8 for Yang on serve.
And that's off the net. Lunging for it, Tanner. And then Brent with the drive, but wide.
Tied at 8.
Yang serving again. Waiting for the whistle, gets the whistle, and delivers. Low line drive. Tanner, Shimmick, back set, Manning. Right to Yang. Aber, back set, and that slide attack driven down by McCarthy.
And you see how the Bengals do that? That time that
Yang to the net, perfectly for Aber. Quick set, tipped over McCarthy. Dug out, Shimmick kept it alive, and it's over by Abby Leaf. Hanson, dug out Reeder. Shimmick, and it's Brent. Aber with a dig. Yang sets it up at the net. Jakubiak plays it over. Shimmick, and there's Leaf. Abby knocking that one over that time to Shimmick. Tanner over to Brent, and that was a beauty. Off the Bengal, the dig attempt on that far side, and nothing doing for Aber. 11-10 Anoka.
Once again, kind of a self-defense move by Kenzie Aber, but not able to get the stop there, not able to get it up in the air enough for a teammate to go get it. Instead, it sails way past. Tornadoes get back up on top.
Shimmick again. Yang gets to it somehow. Back row Hanson. Free to Reeder. Shimmick in the middle for Brent. Powered off the block and into the Blaine bench.
You see
and Anoka now a little momentum.
Trying some different things, though, right there, Jim. You see that? How they kind of tucked Brent behind Abby Leaf that time and kind of set for Brent down the middle. That was a really nice move by Anoka, changing things up.
Shimmick again to Yang, and that's going to go in the bleachers. 4 rows up. A serve, and this is a nice little run here by Shimmick. And the Tornadoes 13-10.
And again, for a team that's been chasing a lot, this has to be a chance to maybe get a small little exhale.
Shimmick backpedaling. Almost mishit there by Hanson. Jakubiak plays it over. Shimmick with the set. Back set near side. Ella Leaf. Nice save, Jakubiak, and over free ball. McCarthy gets it back, tips it over. Dug out Brent. Shimmick the set here near side. There goes Ella Leaf. Bengals ready for it. Yang, and then Hanson over. Tanner, Shimmick, quick set in the middle, and there's Abby Leaf. Big point and a kill for the Tornadoes, getting that lead up to 4.
I'll tell you what, when the going gets tough, you call on your seniors to make big plays, and that's what's happening here in this 4th set. A lot of Logan Brent, a lot of Abby Leaf, and good things are happening.
And the Bengals want a timeout to try and stop those good things from happening here. In set number 4, 4th set, Anoka leading at 14-10.
How's your stamina right now? You okay?
You know what? I've got my second win.
You're okay? You're
yes,
doing all right?
Exactly.
Yeah, it's been a really fun match, and nothing coming easy for Anoka tonight. Blaine has been a really wonderful opponent. You take a look at the standings here in the Northwest Suburban A. We saw it briefly there, but you saw Champlin Park on top. You mentioned that earlier, Jim. And there's a look at A once again. Champlin Park 13-4. Maple Grove having a great season. Anoka, as we said, 11-1 coming in. Yeah, Blaine at 2-10, but just not playing like that at all tonight. They have been super impressive.
Yeah, they're up here 2-1. Trying to find a way to not allow Anoka to get this to a 5th and deciding set.
You just feel like this is where Anoka's going to find some character here. This is, if you can come back and win this match tonight, if you're Anoka, could be a thing that just rallies you for a long period of time.
Senior captain Carmen Shimmick. Hanson, Aber, goes cross court to Jakubiak. Block right back at him by the Leaf sisters. And then it's Leaf again, Ella that time. Had to go off her hands, and Reeder from the back row hammers it home, 15-10.
Reeder getting a chance to do things from the back row that time. And again, I think she's sore. I think she's feeling that finger injury. I think she's feeling some of that pressure. She's trying to laugh it off, but I think she's hurting.
That looks like the laugh of pain.
Yep.
Shimmick. Can they steer it back in? Great one-handed save by Ella Leaf, and it's over by the Tornadoes. Bengals, can they answer? Jakubiak gets blocked. Is it in? What's the call? It's out. Ella Leaf here in the near side was campaigning and claiming it was in.
And again, they always want to touch, but the Tornadoes have got to stop looking for that stuff. Again, ref makes a call. You got to keep playing.
15-11. Blaine down as they serve. Tanner to Shimmick. Goes back set. Brent. Oh, Yang with a beautiful dig.
Man, how did she do that?
Up high in the air and over by the Bengals. Tanner, Shimmick. He's going to feed Brent on that left side. Right to Yang. Aber gets there to help set it up. Over Ulstrup. Tanner, Shimmick in the middle. Then it's Leaf. Oh, what a one-arm save by Bridgeford. Back at the net. Overhand dig by Shimmick. Tanner for Brent, and she finds the corner to get the point.
And a deep exhale from Logan Brent as the Tornadoes are like, what do we have to do to get a point around here? Everything is just had to work so hard to get.
16-11 Tornadoes. Timeout for Carmen Shimmick to tie her shoe. Equipment maintenance is the serve by Brent. Nice and low. Ulstrup pass it ahead, and it comes back to her. Free ball over to Brent. To Shimmick. Reeder off the block, off of Yang. Race for it, Bridgeford, and she can't get it. Big kill by Reeder, 17-11.
And if I'm the Tornadoes again, I think Brent looks to be okay, but yeah, Reeder looks a little gassed, and so I'd have a lot of untied shoes here in the next 5 minutes just to buy the extra second.
Little gamesmanship there, exactly. Aber sets up, the tip over, Tanner ready. Tornadoes are more on point right now, and that's tipped over. Nicely done by Ella Leaf.
Yeah, the Tornadoes are gassed up right now.
Yeah.
They're starting to feel like they've got themselves a little swagger back.
More rhythm, more flow. They seem to be putting the ball in better places here.
And when you're chasing the whole night, Jim, you can't play loose. Like, everything is really tight. Now when you got a little lead, you can start to loosen up a bit.
That little lead now at 7, 18-11. Back set, tipped over Jakubiak, and that was an expert tip.
Yeah, great job by Jakubiak. Great job by the Bengals right time, getting the much-needed side out, because now you get McCarthy on serve here on the back, and see if the Bengals can chip back into this.
McCarthy serving down by 6. Shimmick sets. Reeder drops it down.
Nice job by Hayden Reeder. And I think they're trying to get their rotation figured out here, figure out who's going where. Leaf out, Manning back in, and that's going to put Tanner on serve for the Tornadoes, 19-12.
Tanner. Forrest scrambling a bit here of the Bengals, but they've been under control most of the night. Tanner, Reeder from the attack line. That's a roll shot. And getting an arm on it was Aber, but it wasn't enough. And Anoka the first to 20 here, 20-12.
And now the Bengals look a little tight here when you're chasing. Again, when you're playing in the lead, you can play loose. You can kind of run all over the floor, do all that stuff. But when you're chasing, things get just a little bit more difficult.
Shoe is on the other foot. Nice serve by Tanner. Steered in the middle by Jakubiak. And then a drive off the net. Ready for it, Shimmick. Tanner, Reeder, block. Aber up high in the air to Yang. Steers it towards the net. Power tip by Ulstrup, and ready for it. Brent, Shimmick, tip down the line. And Reeder gets the point there, 21-12.
It's the best the Tornadoes have looked the entire match. Timeout, Blaine.
21-12 Tornadoes, their largest lead of the match, up by 9. Largest lead that either team has had here tonight, 21-12. Trying to force a 5th and deciding set.
And now, again, you get a little lead. You make some things happen. confidence starts to rise, and the Tornadoes are getting that happening for them right now. Reeder looks a little more confident. Again, I think she's just playing on guts right now, but it's working. She's found a second win here, and they're setting for her. And now, though, she's not going for just the hard spike. She's mixing it up. The nice little roll shot, dropping it in there a little bit, going from more of the attack line instead of at the net, trying some different things, and it's working. And they're serving well. They're not giving the unforced errors. They're not giving it away on serve. Could be the announcer's jinx right there, but hopefully not.
No such thing. Tanner.
Great
Ace.
serve.
Off of the arms of Jakubiak and into the hallway. 22-12.
3 points from a fifth set.
Tanner, Yang. She takes that momentum off of the ball and plays it so well. At the net, tip down. The Bengals collect the trash. Just hanging over the net, and they dunk it down, 22-13.
Yeah, kind of a bad dig right there in the back line for the Tornadoes, trying to get one up towards the net, but instead it went into the net, too deep. Nothing they could do.
Jakubiak ready to serve. Junior. Just a couple of seniors on this Bengal varsity roster. Big hit by Reeder. Wonderful dig then by Yang, and then it's tipped down. Bengals get a tip right at the net. Ulstrup, and they've got it to within 8. That's been a great matchup, the Reeder to Yang.
Yeah,
Yang digging the Reeder hits.
I get the vibe that Hayden Reeder's going to wake up in the middle of the night
and see a blue jersey.
Exactly.
Yeah. In the middle, Manning off the block, and it stays on the Bengals side. Ivy Manning has really chipped in here tonight.
Might be a cold sweat she wakes in up to. Although I have a feeling Hayden Reeder might sleep good tonight.
Yes. Just get to the point where you're so quickly tired. Maddie Gibson. Yang, Aber, and it's a kill. This time it's Breitbarth for Blaine off of the Anoka block and down.
23-15, and all Blaine wants to do is prolong this as long as they can, plant some seeds of doubt into the Tornadoes. They'll bring Bridgeford in to serve now.
And there is her serve, and it's in the net. 24-15, set point, one away from the Tornadoes forcing a fifth.
This is the most Anoka-like game we've seen so far in this match, where they've been able to get a lead, keep a team at arm's length.
Reeder, Bridgeford, Aber, Hansen. Down, and the Bengals survive one set point here.
Nice job there by Gemma Hansen. Fantastic play there. Staying with it. And again, just angling it towards the back. Not trying to do too much with it.
Yang to Reeder. Tough play there. Nicely done and tipped by Shimmick off of that pass. But she took lemons and made lemonade and tips it up and over and down. And we have ourselves a fifth set when we come back. 25-16. Bengals win this one. And we go to a fifth here at Anoka High School.
I didn't ask to be thrown in the streets with nowhere to go, but I did ask for help, and Covenant House was there for me.
1 in 10 young adults will experience a form of homelessness this year. For these kids who didn't ask to be put in this unthinkable situation, Covenant House is there, providing hot meals, a safe place to sleep, medical care, and love.
They just really genuinely just wanted to help me succeed, and I'm succeeding.
To learn more, go to safeplacetosleep.org today.
Anoka County Brotherhood Council, also known as ACBC Food Shelf, is a community-based organization located in Anoka County, serving over 10,000 families per year. We have been providing our neighbors with food, clothing, and resources for over 50 years. Providing food to the community is our largest program, and we do this through a food shelf, a grocery delivery program for those who are homebound, and special food distributions available throughout the year. We value our participants' time and have appointments available online and by phone to ensure quick services, making it easier for those with tight schedules and transportation difficulties. The experience of the shopper is important to us, and we take great care in making sure our food shelf market is well stocked, especially with fresh and healthy food items, which can be more expensive for those on tight budgets. We want our space to feel like a grocery store, and we want our shoppers to feel they are cared for. When someone visits us, they will also have access to our family advocate who can provide assistance in navigation with other resources and partnerships. We also have a clothing closet which has clothing and household items for the entire family, a birthday bag program where parents can select age-appropriate theme bags for children up to age 18, and for low-income adults ages 60 plus, we are the only food shelf in Minnesota selected as a CSFP food provider, providing the opportunity for extra food items and nutrition education. We are blessed to be in such a great community that supports our work with volunteers, food donations, cash donations, and just sharing our message. We thank you for your support.
First 5-set match of the season here for Anoka, and they have the momentum heading into the 5th here.
Yeah, that 4th set was the most, like I said, the most Anoka-like set we've seen all match long, where they got out to a nice lead, kept the team at arm's length the whole time, was able to kind of get what they wanted offensively, and they were able to get themselves a lead quickly and end the match quickly, end the set quickly. Now it's a race to 15 here, I believe, in the 5th set, Jim, and This is going to be all about getting off to a good start.
Right, everything is magnified when you're only going to 15 instead of 25. Every error, every big play, every mistake gets magnified. Every serve that much more important. And Kenzie Aber is set to start it out here for the Blaine Bengals.
It's been a heck of a match tonight. The Bengals, tip your cap to them. They have played a really spirited match, and a service error to start for Kenzie Aber.
Yeah, and she's not happy about that. That'll get it over here to the Tornadoes. They take a 1-0 lead.
Carmen Shimmick, usually a good closer.
Yes.
Get her into a final set as a server.
Did we compare to Mariano Rivera one of our matches?
I think so.
Then we just say got to play in her Sandman. That's up off the scoreboard, and it rattles around, and it's 2-0.
And that's exactly what you want if you're Anoka. Get a quick point on serve and try to get yourself up 2. As long as you can get 2-3 points ahead in these 5th sets, it might as well be like being up 5.
Shimmick right in that basketball semicircle. Delivers the serve. Yang, Hansen over. Jakubiak, but ready for it, Reeder. And there's a quick, nice adjustment there mid-flow by Logan Brent. Reeder back to Shimmick, and here comes Brent. One-arm save, but not in. That went the wrong direction off of the arm of Aber. And what a start here for Anoka, 3-0.
Brent looked like she had to make a couple of adjustments there. One, just to get that free ball on the other side, but that little spike there looked like it was an adjustment in midair, but it worked out perfectly, and the Tornadoes lead 3-0.
See, 3-0 in a set going to 15 is like 5-0. Brent, big hammer. That ball came over as the Bengals could not control it. And it was just hanging there, and it's 4-0.
Tornadoes are starting to find their way here. Confidence is starting to come back to this Tornado team that looked so flustered there for much of this early part of the match.
Shimmick serving again. Kubiak over to Aber, then to Hansen. Reeder ready for it. Shimmick over for Brent. Dugout back row. Bridgeford. Aber then steers it to the attack line, and Hansen plays it over. Another free ball. Shimmick sets up, and that'll be out. Brent with the big swing, trying to really power it, but too much and beyond the line.
Yeah, a little misdirection, trying to set up maybe a fake with Abby Leaf and then go for Brent, but that time, just a little too much from Logan Brent. And it gets a big side out for the Bengals.
And Claire Forrest. To Brent, Shimmick has to scramble for it, and Brent will play it over. Yang, Aber, fake the back set, and instead it's rolled over by Jakubiak, and that threw the Tornadoes off. They didn't know what they were looking at, and it's a point for the Bengals.
Big one there, keeps Forrest on serve, and it gets them to cut that lead in half. It was 4-0, now 4-2, right back in it.
Forrest, Tanner, and Shimmick. For Ella Leaf. Dug out, though, by Bridgeford. Aber then comes here to the near side. That's rolled over by Alstrup, and it's down. Here come the Bengals back.
Bengals energy starting to be right there. That was kind of the rare Ella Leaf on the outside hitter position, too, so I thought they had a nice job of setting her up.
Forrest again, and that's an ace. Tanner off her arms and towards the student section. And this fifth set is all tied at 4.
Beautiful serve from Claire Forrest that time, and the Bengals have leveled it. Tornadoes need a side out.
Forrest goes at it again. Brent Shimmick back to Brent on the back set, but it's in the net. Squarely into the net, and the Bengals have scored 5 in a row, and Coach Fenwick is going to call a timeout in his 11th season as a head coach of the Anoka Tornadoes.
Yeah, it's a kind of a frustrating thing defensively there for the Tornadoes. You get the 4-0 lead and you can't get a side out, and part of that's just because you can't dig out a serve on the back line. Forrest doing a nice job of serving, but the Tornadoes aren't making the adjustments on what Forrest is trying to do with the serve.
It's been a game and a set of runs here so far. Anoka started 4-0 and now 5 in a row for Blaine. And they'll try to extend that coming out of this timeout.
So once again, one thing the Tornadoes have been really good at tonight, out of timeouts, they seem to find a way to get a side out. So one thing Coach Fenwick's done a nice job tonight is using his timeouts to try to recalibrate the defense. We'll see if that's enough right here. It's a race to 15 here in set 5. As Jim said, every point's kind of vital.
Yeah, magnified. Forrest again, and they let it go, and it just missed. Good call there by the Tornadoes. They were able to get out of the way of it. Now Logan Brent back to serve in a 5-5 set. An all-tied match at 2 apiece. To the net, Alstrip over to Reeder. Shimmick right back to Reeder. Off the block. Point for Anoka.
Gets them back in front, and obviously when you're at the point in front in the 5th set, that's where you want to be. Don't want to be chasing, so if you're the Tornadoes, you got to like what just happened.
Logan Brent serving. Alstrip up ahead. Aber goes the back set to Jakubiak. Tanner kept it alive. They've got a hit to use, and they do. It's over by Trent. Then it comes here near side. Long by the Bengals. They're looking for a touch. And they will not get it. 7-5 Tornadoes.
Tip your cap to Allie Tanner. Great hustle right there from the libero to keep that one alive and give the Tornadoes a chance at a point.
Brent serving again off the top of the net. Bengals recover. Tipped over. Blocked by Abby Leaf and Reeder. And in the middle came back to the Bengals, and they collect it and get a big point.
Mackenzie Aber, I don't know how she has energy left after she celebrates those points, man. She's jumping everywhere
That's
after
something.
that one. Both teams thoroughly into this match.
Serving McCarthy, net serve. Critical service error there, 8-6 Anoka.
And those get magnified the later this set goes. Not being able to come up with any points on your service game could be the difference here.
They hand it over here to Allie Tanner. To the back row, Forrest, Aber, pop high off of the Tornado block. Tanner gets it to Reeder. Reeder rolls it down. That's the roll shot on that attack. And she finds that little seam between the front and back row, 9-6.
That's starting to work for Hayden Reeder, taking a little something off of it, trying to do a little more placement. It's working a little better here in this 5th set.
Tanner again. Back row Alstrup. Aber tipped over Breitbarth. And point Anoka. Lift called on the Bengals. Timeout Blaine. 10-6 Anoka after being down 2-1 here in this one. Anoka lost the first set. Blaine won set 1. Then the Tornadoes came back. And then Blaine came back. And then Anoka 25-16. Well, in that 4th set, Tim. And they've carried that momentum on into the 5th set.
Yeah.
Yes. 10-6 Anoka. I don't know. Yeah, exactly. They can see it on their screen. Who needs announcers? I don't believe I'd ever say that. Who needs announcers? I'm out of a job. 10-6. And Blaine scrambling. Played over free ball, Jakubiak. There's Manning. Blocked right back at him, but Shimmick, good reactions. And it's Reeder to Yang. Aber, back set, Jakubiak. Back row, overhand pass by Logan Brent. Then it's Shimmick for Reeder. Yang to the net. Breitbarth from the attack line. Pushed ahead, then Reeder flings it over. Right back to the Bengals. There's the tip. Dugout, scrambled, Shimmick, and over by Logan Brent. Great volley here. Cross court set for Ulstrup. Dugout Brent. Here comes Reeder. Oh, that was teetering on the net. Comes back to the Tornadoes again. Reeder off the block, high in the air. Aber back sets Jakubiak. This is the longest rally we've had. Here's Reeder, tip, dug, loose and down. And finally Anoka, the longest volley of the night. They get the point. (11-6). Anoka 4 away from a big comeback. Tanner jumps it across. Backpedaling a bit there was Ulstrup. Then it's Jakubiak over. Shimmick, quick set. Manning, dugout, Aber. Yang gets under it. Jakubiak off the block. And it deflects to the scoring table. Point Bengals, they get the serve. Her serves have been tough all night. Logan Brent, Shimmick, Reeder, down for Hayden Reeder, 12-7. Gibson serving, over on 2, Tanner ready, Shimmick, Reeder off the block. Yang directs it up into the air. They come to the near side. The big swing by Ulstrup, and she finds a spot, drops it in. Big one for the Bengals there, 12-8. Yeah. Tough spot for a freshman. Team is down by 4. Serving in the 5th set. And she delivers. Reeder, Shimmick, goes to the back row to Brent. They made contact at the net. It lands in. 13-8. I was surprised that the set went there. And who's calling the timeout now? Yep, Anoka. Seemed like they wanted to make a...
And I don't think he's happy about something. Maybe now he's sending him back out. I don't know what that was. Maybe he just wasn't sure.
I don't know if there was something with the rotation. They were going to call a timeout to get the rotation set, make sure everything was good. And now they just gave Blaine a point.
Oh.
Did Anoka call a timeout? They don't have a timeout remaining. I didn't keep track of the timeouts.
That's it. I don't know if Fenwick
Has
understands.
Anoka used a timeout in this 5th set?
Well, maybe
and
they
now
took
here's
the
one
timeout.
of the captains, Logan Brent, talking with the official.
I wonder if they took the timeout, and because they did, they stopped the clock. And then, but they didn't use the timeout, and so it was like they got sent back. So Coach Fenwick's trying to figure out, like, okay, well, what does that mean exactly, and how do we get punished for that?
A little bit of a confusion. They signaled point, Blaine.
And I don't think they're taking that point off, and
No,
they're still...
it's 13-9.
So I think that might be maybe a bench error on the part of the Tornadoes.
Yeah. Yang serving. That one was tumbling, but Tanner got her arms on it. And then the block by Brent. Brent's hit, and the block by Blaine goes out of bounds.
And we are at match point. point.
Yes, 14-9. Earlier in the match, those Blaine blocks were being directed in on the Anoka side and in between the lines.
One thing I love,
that one had missed. It went wide.
I like the demeanor, though, of Coach Natalie Tynes. She's smiling in the huddle still. I think, this, you don't like moral victories. I don't think you like talking like that, Jim.
Right.
But they've got to leave here tonight no matter what, feeling like we can play. I hope this is evidence that we can hang with people, that we can give everybody a game, and we've got some talent here going forward. This Blaine team is going to be a force again very, very soon. They've got a lot of pieces that are fun to watch.
Both of our officials talking about that last ruling, probably talking about rules and what's going on, but the reality is that it is match point here in the fifth set. 14-9 Anoka, and they have Reeder serving. Smile on her face, ready to go. Hayden Reeder has really battled through tonight, and actually they're going to drop her back down, and it'll be Madison Hunter who will serve here.
Haven't seen her in a while.
Match point, Hunter gets it in play. Overhand pass ahead by Bridgeford. Played from the back row by the Bengals to Reeder to Shimmick. Sets up Brent. Off the block high. They scramble. Hanson to it. Set to the far side. It's in the net, and that's it. Anoka has come back to get the win against the Blaine Bengals and improve their record to 12-1, 15-9 here in the fifth set. Needing to win the last two sets to come back from a 2-1 deficit, and that's exactly what they've done.
They were in a fight tonight, though, and I think there's a lot of things that you can take from it, both positively and negatively, from the Anoka Tornadoes and the Blaine Bengals, for that matter. I think if you're the Anoka Tornadoes, you're thrilled to win. It was a character win. It was a high-integrity win. You really had to fight, showed a lot of courage, but there's a lot of things that have to improve, right? You got to be a little cleaner on defense, got to be cleaner with the digs and the sets. As for Blaine, again, you got to take the positives here. You came, you battled, you were in this match the entire way, you were tenacious, you dug it out beautifully, you set well, but when it came late in the game, it was tough to finish. They couldn't finish set two. They had a lead late in that set, couldn't finish it. Came out in the fourth set where it was a little bit flat, and then they got jumped on early here in the fifth set and struggled to hang in there. In the end, just ran out of gas, I think, at the end of the day for the Blaine Bengals, but a great effort from them. I thought this was a really fun one to watch tonight.
Right. These teams could face off again in the section playoffs, just as they did last year. Last year, Anoka won in the regular season 3-2, and then Blaine turned around and won 3-1. So Blaine might be a team that nobody, as far as the higher seeds, wants to play in Section 7. And I'm sure if you're Blaine, you'd love to get another shot at Anoka, as close as it was here tonight, being up 2-1, Tim.
No question about that. It was a great effort from them, and you bet they'd love another shot. And if you're Anoka, I think it's the same thing. I think you'd love another shot, too. Yep. I think they feel like they're going to walk out of here tonight going, boy, we better make sure we've got all our ducks in a row next time we take the court.
Don't want to say that shored up the number one seed in Section 7 right now, because you got some other pretty good teams, but when you look at who Anoka has beaten, and they faced Blaine here tonight, this is their last game against section opponents. Unless they cross over and there's somebody in B that's out of Section 7, I'd have to look at the standings there. But I think Anoka is definitely going to be the number one seed in Section 7, and they get a big win here tonight. 22-25, 25-13, 23-25, and then 25-16 and 15-9. Tornadoes 12-1 overall, 4-1 in conference play. They host Robbinsdale Armstrong on Tuesday. Meanwhile, for Blaine, 2-11, 0-4 in the conference. And on Saturday, they go to the Chisago Lakes Wildcat Invitational. They'll play Holy Angels, Cambridge Isanti, and Pine City coming up on Saturday at Lindstrom. For our great QCTV crew, for Tim Anderson, I'm Jim Erickson. And again, an exciting five-setter here tonight. Anoka gets the come-from-behind win, 3-2 over Blaine. For everybody here for QCTV Sports at Anoka High School, good night, everybody.